You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream. This is AfterBuzz TV for America's Next Top Model. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest America's Next Top Model news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for America's Next Top Model.
What's up, everyone? I'm Jackie Miranne, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV for America's Next Top Model All-Stars. And do I hear some beats in the background, DJ Jesse Janedy?
Yes, you do. Playing a little Beyonce End of Time for you.
I love my hot model beats. Every top model show, you know I got to have my beats. That's DJ Jesse Janedy in the house, chiming in on tonight's show with me.
Yes, I want to see Jackie run the runway on this, to this beat.
That's right. Beyonce, hot beats. Well, I love it. I love Top Model, and I love chatting with you guys about it. And I'm so excited because we may be missing Mari Fagel and Nicolette tonight, our fellow real girl and model in the house for AfterBuzz TV. But we've got DJ Jesse Janedy and a special guest returning from last week, Brittany Brower, the all-star herself, with her new series on her website called Topped Off, is going to be back with us shortly to share her thoughts on this week's episode. And we love having Brittany on the show, right, Jesse?
Absolutely.
She is so funny. Her new web series, Topped Off, on BrittanyBrower.com is hilarious. She recaps the episodes just like we do, and she's going to join us to give us her thoughts, so that's very exciting. But trust me, honey, I have plenty of thoughts this week, from the medical emergency with Kayla to finally Bianca getting put in her place by Jay. I'm so excited to talk about that. And I'm also very disappointed, Jesse, because, well, we're going to have to talk about our girl Camille. But oh, boy, lots to talk about. First, let's talk about Kayla and her little model meltdown. They teased to it last week on predictions, and they had me worried, thinking something awful was going to happen. It turned out to me to be kind of a whole lot of nothing. I mean, she seemed very sick, but all of a sudden she was back, and she was doing CSI auditions and a photo shoot. So what did you make of the little drama there with the ambulance and everything?
Yeah, I felt like it was a little exaggerated. I'm sure it's a really stressful situation, but then like the whole next day, all you're doing is complaining about, I'm sick, I'm this, and you pull that flawless picture out. Like, come on, honey.
I know.
Someone may have wanted a little more time. I don't want to ever say
that somebody's faking something, because she did go to the hospital. But, boy, she was able to recover very quickly. I guess that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I don't think she was faking it. I'm sure she really, was stressed out and probably took medication. But I kind of feel like she might have milked it, felt it a little harder than it really was.
Definitely. Well, us models, we're known for bringing the drama, Jesse. We can't help ourselves. We're just dramatic girls.
I hear
But
that.
all you Kayla fans out there, I want to know what you have to say. And Camille fans and Bianca fans, definitely tweet us at Jackie Miranne or DJ Jesse J, or AfterBuzz TV. Those are our Twitter handles. And you can call us at 424-256-1729, because we want to hear what you think of Top Model. I know you guys have tons of opinions out there. So moving on, as quickly as Kayla did, I'm more excited to talk about the CSI auditions because some of those girls in the beginning, you have to feel bad for them. I'm going to tell you this much, Jesse. You probably have gone on auditions. Very hard to memorize a whole scene in 30 minutes. I mean, that's really tough. And it does sound like some of the girls had to wait quite a while without being able to look at the scene again, maybe over an hour. So that's also very tough because it's not even fresh by then. But some of these girls, Dominique was hysterical. She just was messing up every single word. Allison, Bianca, they were all horrible.
Who said Neosporin? That was hilarious.
Bianca. That was Bianca. She just made up her own. Well, she didn't make them up, but she just changed it up. Let's just say.
Which, I mean, I give credit to that. I mean, but really, like, Neosporin, like, who says that in a CSI? But, like, I mean, if you don't remember the word, like, a lot of the girls were just like, oh, fuck, oh, shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the number one thing in acting. Like, just because if you don't know those words, I'm sure the majority of the people watching the show don't. So make something up, but make it sound relevant to what you're talking about. You know, so there was one girl who kind of just went with it, and she was totally getting the words wrong, but she still continued. I forget who exactly that was, but, you know, to that I applaud. But, like, when you stop in the middle of it or use, like, Neosporin, like, what are you going to be like, ooh, back teen. Like, what?
I know. Well, you know, I do have to say that's a good point, Jesse, for all aspiring actresses out there or actors or even in modeling, anything. You just have to hold on to yourself, contain yourself. And there's definitely ways of handling this challenge with poise and doing well, even if you didn't memorize the lines, like you just said. And so even actually Bianca, who threw out words, she kept going. So I have to give her credit for that, like you said. But then there's just some girls who couldn't even, you know, make out the English language. So, like Lisa, worst example of the evening. She did awful because not only did she mess up, going into it, by the way, saying, oh, I'm an actress, I've acted, I've done this, I've done that, so you think she's going to do well, and then every other word is the F word, and that's just so unprofessional, no matter what. I mean, it wasn't even really funny. It was just, at that point, if you could have cut anybody from the competition, she should have went home right then and there because it's just not proper business etiquette or audition etiquette. If he were really watching somebody do that in a real audition, they'd never see her again. And Jay called her out for it. But I was pretty surprised that Lisa, of all people, I thought she would actually be good at acting going into it.
Well, she claimed she was. She was like, I've done, you know, being from LA. Actually, Lisa really kind of made me not like her this episode. And so that's why I'm like, I'm going to be like the controversial one today because I know Britney is a friend and a fan of hers. But I don't know, like, it was just so many excuses. And it's like, I'm a big person who, you know, there are times where people comment to people and say, oh, that's an excuse. And sometimes I'm like, well, it's not really an excuse. It's really what's going on with them. And Lisa was using that, like saying, no, I'm not giving an excuse. I know you feel like that, but that's really what it is. Like, an hour and a half after, I understand that's a long time, but then you shouldn't have been in the room before saying, oh, this is going to be a piece of cake. I'm from LA. Like, I've gone on so many auditions before. Like, it was just a lot. And it was just like, I don't like when you brag and then when you don't do well, then you have an excuse for it. And it's just like, you knew you were going to have to wait an hour and a half. You should have been reading those lines in your head over and over and over and over again. But I have a feeling she wasn't. I have a feeling she was a little cocky about it. And then even to go in there, and even if you don't remember the lines, to use words like coke, crack, like what? Whoa. This is not The Wire. This is CSI. Like, I don't know. I just was really unimpressed by that whole scene with her.
I definitely was too. And so poor Britney, she's going to have to come on here and defend her girl Lisa. But honestly, like you just said, not only was she cocky about it, and normally energy is the biggest thing that can give her sort of the leg up in acting that I really thought, oh my God, she's bragging, she's got the energy, she's going to go in there and blow these girls away. And it was the total opposite. She lost all of her energy. Her energy just went out the window. Not only that, but cursing, saying those inappropriate things. Totally agree with you, Jesse. I'm not a huge Lisa fan to begin with, but I admire her energy, even though it's not my kind of energy. But I admire that about her, and she just lost it. It just all went out the door, like no energy, nothing. Even Jay said it.
Yep.
But who did do exactly what I thought Lisa would do was Angelea. She went in there being like, Angelina's got skills. I did my thing. I got this. I'm going to nail it. And she did. She nailed it. Angelea was so poised, so smooth with her delivery. And she's definitely got that ghetto vibe, but, you know, she says she can be sophisticated, whereas she didn't pull it off last week. She totally pulled it off this week. I actually thought she should have won the challenge over Bre.
Oh,
Bre
see,
was
I
the
disagree.
Winner. You disagree or you agree?
I disagree. I thought they were going to give it to her, and I was really hoping they weren't. She did a good job. She remembered the words and everything, but, like, Bre went in there, and I forgot about Bre. Because I remember that season, and I love Bre. I think she's adorable. She is so cute. We'll talk about her picture later, which I was disappointed about in her. But I love me some Bre, and she proved it. But this also made me think, you know what? Maybe modeling isn't fully for her. She was that role. Like, Angelea went in the role, and it was almost like I could tell she was playing timid. The thing with Bre was, like, I was like, oh, is this bitch nervous? Or is she really, like, I really believed Bre's role. Like, it really came through strong last night. And I was like, okay. And it was so easy. Like, she just did it. She just easily flowed with it, went with it. I didn't think she was going to remember the words, but the way she was down there looking like she was reading from the paper, like that, everything that she did, I could totally see her in the actual show doing that. And I think that's what the guy saw in her. And that's why he picked her. I was so happy because I really thought they were going to give it to Angelea. And I think Angelea did a good job. Like, congratulations. You said the words, and you did it with a calmer voice. But it wasn't fully acting to me. To me, Bre fully became that character. To me, Angelea was Angelea playing this role. But she hit it. She got it. She pulled it off. It worked for her. But Bre was that character. She wasn't Bre as this character. Bre was that girl, Mallory, whatever her name is.
Do you think, though, Jesse, that I totally agree. I think Bre did great, and I do think she's lacking in the competition so far, which disappoints me because I really like her. But I've always seen that commercial side in Bre, so I guess I wasn't as surprised by her performance. I expected her to, or I guess hoped that she would do well and thought she'd be somebody that did well, and she did. She did great. I think her and Angelea were both deserving of the win, and she got it, which is great. I'm fine with it. I guess I'm just more surprised by Angelia's ability to get out there and really do that. And do you think you're discriminating against her because of the fact that she's so different in her true personality? Like, you're saying she was acting it, but that's just maybe because we really know how sort of flavorful she is off screen.
No, because I mean, in the sense of it, when I look at the role, like I'm very big into acting. So when I look at the role and I want to see somebody become it. And actually, this is a big problem that I have with. And I get like crucified every time I say this with Ryan Gosling. You know, some roles he nails it. Some roles for me that other people think he's amazing in, I'm like, well, I kind of feel like he's Ryan Gosling as that person. Now, I definitely give Angelea credit in the fact of, you know, she has such a different personality. And I think we have our special guest.
Oh, very exciting because we were just about to move on to the photo shoot. Is she on the line?
Hello.
What up, Britney?
What up,
Hi.
everybody? Brittany Brower on the line of BrittanyBrower.com. Of course, America's Next Top Model All-Star herself, but we love you so much, Brittany. We had to ask you back, and we know you're bringing us topped off every week on your website, BrittanyBrower.com, and we wanted to get a little taste of what you thought of this week's episode. We just talked about the CSI auditions. And I was saying that I thought Angelea was so surprising, but both her and Bre did great. So either one to me could have won this challenge. And we were just about to move on to the express photo shoot. What are you thinking, girl? What did you think about, these girls in person?
This episode was a great one. Okay, last week I didn't have too much to talk about. It was kind of a boring episode. This week was phenomenal. I've got lots of stuff. The thing with the CSI was hysterical. This is what I do not miss about Top Model. Unrealistic challenges that are hysterical. Like, you have 30 minutes to go over this copy and memorize all. Of course, they put every hard, medical, morgue, whatever kind of verbiage for you to learn to make you mess up. Which, sure, Bre rocked it out of the park. But it's just hysterical to me. I love watching unrealistic things like that. But like you said, on to the express photo shoot.
Before we move on to the express photo shoot, I want to ask your opinion on your girl Lisa, who really messed up that CSI audition.
Yeah, she did. And I actually have talked to Lisa about this, and I do see her point a little bit. Okay, I know that you shouldn't make excuses and all that, you good stuff, yada, yada, yada. But one thing I can say is true, that they really didn't show so much on the episode, but they give the girls 30 minutes, and then they take all of take them all away. Like, no more reading over the script. They took it. And she did have a disadvantage, I will say, going last. Whoever got to go first obviously had the best advantage. They just memorized it. They're just looking at the script, and then they just get to go right out. Being last, I can't imagine if I went last during that. I'd probably be a little bit the same way. It's not as fresh in your head, and it was such hard words to, kind of remember. But yeah, she did lose a little of her, confidence in this challenge. You can tell it wasn't the same old Lisa.
Well, Brittany, did you also the one thing that kind of got that upset me was the fact that she went in it so cocky. And I know as an actor, when you go into these types of things, and she had claimed she grew up in L.A., she's been to tons of auditions, and she's got this in the bag. And I understand that hour and a half is a very long time. But to make that comment and then not to go in it with energy, or at least to make something off the top of your head more realistic, I think her story was really out the ballpark.
Yeah, I do. No, I do agree with you on that, because that's not really Lisa. Her personality, and that really kind of surprised me, because I think she started stressing and started feeling nervous, and that was her defense mechanism to put up, was then to go in kind of a little bit cocky, just trying to play it off or something. But I think if she would have gone in with more of who Lisa is and been like, all right, let's see if I can knock these words out, and kind of make more of a joke of it and make fun of herself, it would have came off a little better.
Right.
Because, she was last, and I get that. But coming in, already with excuses and kind of coming in with zero energy, that's so not her. So I'm glad. I am very glad they didn't get rid of her, because, that was just obviously a bad moment, and we all have those.
It was definitely a bad moment, and you're right. We have to talk about who sort of excelled in this episode, moving on to the photo shoot, all about telling the story and standing out for Express. And you know how this goes, Brittany, where you have to really not only sell yourself, but you have to think about the brand that you're selling. And,
right.
Lisa, again, sort of got into some trouble in the photo shoot. But overall, what are your thoughts on the girls and the photo shoot?
Well, another thing they didn't really touch on, too, they didn't really make it real crystal clear, is that they were supposed to kind of make it their own. Like, they had to do the direction and give the guys direction, and they were having to be more in charge. So I think that that really didn't really factor into the final decision. I think Lisa did come into it trying to give direction or whatever, but when I watched the show, it didn't come off like that. It looked weird. And I didn't really see any of the other girls trying to come in and give direction. I just saw them coming in being models like how they are. One thing that I thought was absolutely hysterical was Bianca's comment about how she's the only real model there.
Oh my gosh.
What a slap in the face to all the other girls. I was like, I can't believe she just told Jay that. I mean, it is called America's Next Top Model. And granted, some of the girls, even myself, are not so much into the modeling industry as strong anymore, but we've all been there. Hey, even though I'm not sitting there trying to go down a catwalk for, Calvin Klein anymore, I'm still in this business, in this industry, and still a professional. So I thought it was a huge slap that she said that, and I thought it really kind of looked bad on her part, even to Jay. Whoa.
Definitely. Brittany, I'm so glad you brought her up, because my thing is with Bianca, I actually worked with her at an agency in New York for a while. I never worked with her on a direct photo shoot, but it was around the time of all the drama with her airport incident and all that.
Right.
And, so she got a little bit of a bad reputation in sort of that little inner circle. But my thing with Bianca this whole season so far is that she has that attitude. She has she thinks who she is. But for me, she hasn't shown it in any of her pictures. I don't think her pictures blew me away for the attitude that she has and the opinion she has of herself. And like you said, she's really no better than anybody else as far as maybe she was at different agencies and, more focused in the high fashion or whatever. But you're all models, you're all working.
You're completely right with that, and I have to agree, because I've seen Bianca obviously quite a bit in person, and she's beautiful. She's 6 feet, she's skinny, she's got all that going on. But even on camera, because I obviously didn't get to see all the photo shoots, I'm not seeing what's really backing that up. I see it in person with her. I think she's awesome, a beautiful girl. I'm just not seeing that being really backed up her diva-ish, I should say, and she's entitled to being the best model. I'm not really seeing that.
Definitely not seeing it, and I was so happy that Jay put her in her place, saying exactly what we just said. Now, I don't know how you've worked with Jay directly. How do you think Bianca must have felt after he put her in her place like that?
Well, I'm sure she got defensive about it and probably didn't like it too much, because that's kind of what I'm seeing is her thing these days on there, is just to kind of get upset about everything. I think this is just all coming back to egos, and you get what you put out there. And I just think that when you are really conceited and you think that you're it's not a confidence thing. It's overly feeling entitled. You're the best. I think it just comes back to slap you, because unless you can really prove it, which she's not doing, she ends up, looking like the idiot.
Definitely. That's the thing. You have to bring it to the camera.
Yeah. I think almost hey, maybe let's wait till you're toward the final 2, final 3. Then okay, you've nailed every photo shoot. You've nailed every runway competition. You've got it going on. You've got this. We're only on episode 4. Where's all this? Why is it every single episode, where are all these egos coming from? I don't know. It's cracking me up. The only person that shocks me is Angelea, because I have to admit, I don't really see it in person with her, and I don't really get her, but she did surprise me with this challenge, with the whole CSI. I was like, oh, whoa, I'm actually impressed she did that.
Absolutely, and then she brought it in the photo shoot too. Jesse, can we show Angelea's photo for all of our viewers on Ustream? Angelea, the winner of this challenge. Now, I think she really brought it. I think she looks glam. She almost has a Jennifer Lopez vibe going on. Do you think she deserves to win, though, Brittany and Jesse?
No, I don't. I really don't. I think that she's got a few things going on with her person, she can knock things out, or I'm not a big Angelea fan, so I'm going to be real biased here, but I just don't see the full major marketing package here. I think she's good for certain things, but I thought this was Top Model All Stars branding, truly brandable, and I don't really get that from her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, it's a nice picture, but I don't think it should have been the winner of last night. I personally, because the vibe that they said, you said, oh, very spicy, very Jenny from the block. I actually think the runner-up should have been the winner, Dominique, because she pulled off Jenny from the block out of everything. Looking at the two pictures, and this is just
definitely,
this
yes,
picture.
I'm so with you on that.
She looked great. I agree with that. Dominique looks. I don't think Angelea should have won best photo. I think that maybe they were just being a little biased because she did good in the CSI competition, and then she did have a good photo, so they were like, oh, they'll make her the winner of that since she didn't win the challenge. But I do not think that was the best photo. And I have to give a little credit. I'm sorry. Do y'all think that Shannon, I think she screams Express. Shannon's look to me, I thought that was good. I think that for the the buyer, for the person who you're doing the shoot for Express, to me, Shannon looks like an Express model. Do y'all ever look through this catalog? It looks so much like someone from Express.
Shannon was the one, they kept calling her, oh, she has the girlfriend look.
Yeah.
And they said she's a little commercial, but you know what was weird about that? I do agree with you that Shannon did great, but Lisa from Express said she wouldn't book her based on the shoot so far, which I thought was interesting because I as well like Shannon's picture.
I know. I thought because I think that Express is a little commercial. Do y'all not agree? Maybe I'm wrong on what I think of Express, but I don't see Express as being up there with like Versace, Tom Ford, I don't know. I just feel like Express is more commercial.
If it's in every mall across America, it's commercial. Express is very commercial.
It's
and that's what's so funny about the modeling industry is that they say even commercial brands are calling girls to commercial. So, when does commercial fit in? Because, it's like they're always looking for fashion, but you just said it, Jesse. They're in every mall.
They're in every mall. I'm in Tallahassee, Florida, a small city. It is not, just because it's the capital of Florida, do not get excited. It's tiny. And it has, that was my favorite place to shop growing up because Express was all we really had. It is in every city, every small town. So I don't know. I don't really think that saying, oh, she's too commercial. Well, we are talking about Express here, right? We are talking about the same clothing line because, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, the most expensive thing in their store is like $150 or $200. To me, that's commercial.
Correct.
Definitely. Now, I do think Shannon did great. I thought Dominique did great, and we're showing her picture right now on Ustream. Runner-up Dominique. Definitely loved her. Now, did you guys have any other standouts before we go to the other end of the spectrum, which is the girls who didn't do so well this week?
I liked Caitlyn. I thought she had the fur hat, but the thing is, I understood where they said that she has the same face for every picture, and she does. But for that picture, it was a great picture.
Okay,
Kayla,
can I just say something on that? Hold on? Can we back up about Kayla? I'm sorry. The only reason she got an episode about herself was because she faked a panic attack. I mean, can we just touch on that first?
Thank you.
That's it. I mean, and I have to say that. I mean, what do you do when no one's paying attention to you? Because let me tell you, in the house, no one really was. What are you doing? No one's paying attention to you. You're not really getting good or bad critiques at panel or anything. You're kind of blending into the background. What does every good dramatic girl need to do? You fake a panic attack and have the ambulance called. It's called reality TV gold. It's just like, oh, if I fake I'm sick and the ambulance comes, that guarantees me an episode. Ding, 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 ding. I mean, I think, and how I love how they called it, she was having a cardiac arrhythmia, a.k.a. It's called, because she said it was due to stress. That's really, it needs lots of attention disorder. That's what that was.
And it's really, how bad could it be, I said, when you come back and do a photo shoot and a CSI audition and you're fine. So I'm glad you said it, Brittany, because that was pretty crazy. But, she did have a good photo, but you're right. She's a little bit of a one-trick pony, Jesse. Now, let's show Bianca's photo.
Wait, before we get to Bianca, I'm sorry, because I'm just getting back into the show. Who was the girl? Oh, my God. with the red outfit, looking at one with the blonde hair, and she had her hand up, and the most awkward stance.
Alexandria.
Oh, what the heck was that? And they were giving her more credit than she ever deserved. That was the most awkward picture.
Oh, I love you. Thank you. Yes. I don't understand what that was about at all. And I think that all these like little sayings they were even doing, like be the girlfriend, be the flirt. I feel like most of the girls just ended up doing their own poses anyway. No one actually went with like what they were being told, this one word thing. But yeah, Alexandria, that stance she was doing was awkward and weird.
Yes.
And it was not a good suit, so she had to work with kind of an ugly red suit too, in my opinion. So she disappointed me this week, and I usually like her photos. I'm not sure how her personality is, Brittany, but I usually like her photos, and I was definitely disappointed.
She can take a good photo, and that's what I have to say about her, because when I see her in person, I don't see model, I don't see top model, I don't see anything. I just see like this, like, normal girl. And I'm not saying I think she's ugly. I don't. I'm not being that mean. I just don't see that. And then she can take a photo, and she can move really well. And I see some, like her photo, she looks good. But, but her personality now, that's a whole other show and day and topic and everything. I can't even get on that right now, or the show's going to go a lot longer than what you normally plan it as. So.
Well, we're showing Bianca's photo right now for our Ustream viewers. Bianca, like we said, got laced into by Jay on the photo shoot, and I can't believe she was not in the bottom two. I definitely thought, as much as Lisa was the excuse monster of the week, Bianca should have been in the bottom two for me, because another boring photo, not bringing her attitude to the camera, and I don't know, she keeps slipping through, but at least Jay called her out this week.
I agree with that. I do. I thought, right, like, okay, maybe Lisa failed at what she was trying to do that week, but she was still trying. She was still trying her little skip thing off the stairs. Like, she was trying. I mean, it wasn't working, but she was trying. Bianca just kind of was, I feel like she was then, once again, just relying on her looks to do it.
Yeah, well, let's show Lisa. She definitely still had energy, I think. They were saying her shoot was a little awkward. I think that this picture still shows a ton of energy. Maybe the guy's position is a little awkward, but come on, she has a great smile here. She has some energy. I don't know. I don't think she deserves to be in the bottom two here. I'm backing up the girl Lisa.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And thank you, love it. And I'm not just sitting here thinking like I'm going to be Lisa's cheerleader no matter what, because I do love the girl and I love her character. I will say she was off this week. I will completely 100%. But I think she can bounce back. She's had an off week. We all have those, like I feel something got in her head a little bit, no big deal. But she still, once she got to that part where they were holding her, did y'all not agree with me that I think that the Lisa that we know came out, like she could feel that little skip thing wasn't really working, and then when Jay suggested them holding her, I feel like that smile and her whole personality came back out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this photo, the thing with her is like, I do want to see her. I want to see another side of her, though. That's my problem with her. I don't want to just always see this like, ah! And
right.
I love it because I think this is a great photo. I mean, she definitely stands out on it. I mean, I just keep looking at David. That's the guy in the middle. I'm sorry. That's just me personally. But, literally, when they were like, the guys outshine, I'm like, well, I can't help that. But, no, she looks great in this picture. I would love to see what the rest of the photo shoot looked like, because I think that, they probably only had like 3 or 4 of them because what she was doing was a little awkward. But this is definitely Lisa. This is what we see from her. This is what she's always going to give us, and that's great for selling, because this is the girl I want to sell my product. She has a smile,
hey, you know what?
energy.
Yeah, she's looking to her brand is what she's doing, which I give her props for that, because she is staying consistent, even though I know you want to see a little bit different, which totally I completely understand. But, yeah, for this season, why one thing we're going to see a lot of these people sticking to what they know, because it's all about branding. So I think people are going to be a little nervous of going too far off their normal character, because then they're probably going to get criticized for it or even eliminated for it.
Well, yeah, that's a great call, Brittany, and I do think Lisa stays on brand. She did have a bit of an off week, but so before we let you go, Brittany, we have to talk about Camille because she was voted off this week. Another disappointing photo. I didn't realize she was 33, I believe. I didn't realize she was that much older, but, you know,
I think
don't
she's older
think
than that. I think she was still lying on that. I think she's older. I think she's 34, 35, but who's counting?
Oh, I love the inside scoop. Well, you know, for me, she was such a diva in the past, and I really think, you know, another girl making excuses just because you could be any age, okay? I can name a million models and brands that are fabulous at 50. I don't think her age is an excuse. She never brought the diva, and now she's been sent home. What happened with Camille?
Well, I agree that you say, okay, that's she shouldn't have used her age as an excuse because who wants to ever say their age on national television? I ought to never do that, really. And I am younger, by the way. But, I mean, I don't really feel why she needed to use that as a crutch. I mean, if anything, girl, shut your mouth. Keep that a secret. I think that she should have just, she is a diva, and she does have a great body, and she is beautiful, and I don't see her age. I know she's older. I think she doesn't look her age. She looks younger. So she shouldn't, I would have never used that as, you know, like an excuse. There's no need for it. And it made her look worse.
Did you see any, like, she seemed so subdued, and I was really thinking she was going to be a big personality. When you spent time with her this season, what did you see from her personally? She is what Andre says, kind of that beauty pageant type a little bit, you know, like Miss Perfectionist she is. You should see this girl unpack and pack her bags and the way she hangs things up and the way she's like Marsha Brady where she'll like comb her hair 100 times on each side before going to bed. You know, she seriously is like a perfectionist. And where that kind of can get in the way of your personality and the way of just letting go. Sometimes, I mean, look at me, I'm a wreck. The best things I ever do in my life is usually when I'm like just letting go. It comes out great. You know, on cycle 4 when I got in the mud, I was totally hungover that day. I felt like crap. And I was actually just so lazy that I didn't want to go find a new outfit in the nature that I just said, there's a mud pile, I'm going to roll in it for my outfit. I love it.
I think so in life sometimes when you get the best thing.
Yeah, so she didn't let go enough.
At all.
That was really disappointing. Jesse, what did you think of Camille? Because I know you wanted to see more from Camille, too.
And I'm actually going to agree with you, Brittany. Say your age all you want because, I mean, for me personally, if you look that good and that's your age, like, damn, girl, I know I got a couple more years in you then because you look fierce, bitch. And I may be crucified for saying this, but I actually don't mind this picture because to me, this picture is telling a story. I feel like she's like a celebrity coming out of a courtroom, or I feel like she's giving me that. I could picture this hang up and express. I mean, no, it's not what Dominique did. Dominique literally looks like she's popping out of the freaking picture. Like, bitch, who photoshopped you there? But no, that's just literally the picture she took. But I mean, Camille, I think she's beautiful. I think it's not like a pose, but the way the guys are around her, the way she's centered in the middle, to me, this picture does tell a story. Versus some of the other pictures we saw, like Britney's is just like you're like the 17-year-old slut at the college walking through trying to find a boy, like. So to me, for her to lose, I don't know. I just was really disappointed with it. I think Bianca. I think what should have happened was BJ told Tyra what happened, and Tyra said, "Well, girl, you're the model, right? So you don't need to be here because your personality. You ain't an all-star. You don't have the personality. So go be a model." Yeah,
I think that's what it is. It was like maybe, you know, I will be the first to say I never agree with the judges usually ever. Hello, I'm gone. I mean, biggest complaint of the season. But I think that they probably just base it on other things, and she did not do good in the PSI. Everything factors in. It's not always on the photo shoot. It sometimes, you know, like she didn't do good on the PSI, and that definitely came out. I'm sure when they were deliberating, they talked about the fact that she wasn't comfortable at PSI, and then she gave a rant on a photo that I know you like, but, you know, I mean, all these things factor in, and they decided to give her the boob. And then on top of the excuses and throwing her age out and stuff, I think that all that just kind of came. They're like, well, maybe we will let her go this week.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I do agree with you, Jesse. The picture, it's not like it's that bad. Like, Bianca's could be construed to be just as off base as this one, in my opinion. But I do think I've been continually disappointed with Camille, like, expecting more from her every week. And I think you're right, Brittany. It all factors in. I think a combination of all the weeks, she just never brought it. She never let go. And so she's gone. But you know what, Brittany?
You have to change it up. You have to do it.
Yeah, and I continue to say that you being eliminated on the first week is still the biggest mistake of all stars. Do you agree, Jesse?
Absolutely. And actually,
thank you.
I want to ask a question. If you were still in the competition, you were to have done this photo shoot, how would you have directed it? Like, what girl would you have picked, or how would you have used the guys?
Oh, I think they would have made me the fun girl, the one that's like, the funny, fun, whatever. They would have made me that one. So I would have been kind of like, maybe like an arm up, hanging on them, like laughing, like a lot of personality in the face, being that kind of over the top, like a brand, like, the funny girl.
Very nice.
I would have loved to have seen it. We were maybe
I'll recreate it on my Topped Off episodes. Maybe I'll do that.
I think you should recreate every week that they do it. You should do an over the top one. Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh, that's what. Yeah, no, I've talked about it. The problem is I just got to get all the. Now I got to find 4 or 5 guys here in LA to come over to my house and let me hang on them.
Right.
Well, Brittany, before we let you go, tell us again about Topped Off and where everybody can find it.
Okay, so it's on Topped Off is a series that I've created, a web series that I'm basically doing what I'm doing now, but on camera, and I'm laughing about all the funny stuff and all my opinions of the show. And you can find it on my website, which is BritneyBrower.com. And I'm actually pouring my first glass of champagne right now because I'm right after I hang up the phone. I'm doing Topped Off episode 4 right now.
Oh my God, so exciting, guys! Topped Off is hilarious. You have to watch it on BritneyBrower.com. And Brittany, thank you so much for giving us your inside scoop and your expertise. And we're going to be live in the AfterBuzz studios together very soon. You have my word on that.
I know. I'm so excited. Yay.
Well, great. Go film an amazing episode of Topped Off, and we'll definitely be looking out for it.
I will. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Brittany.
All right. Bye.
Love Brittany. I mean, you can't get better than that, Jesse. She knows all of that inside scoop. She was on this season working with these girls, and Topped Off is hilarious. Did you see it? It's so funny.
I actually did last week. I checked it out. And, it's funny because it's like going back and like looking at her pictures and just hearing her personality. It's like, what? Really? Like she has like, and then to go off this into the fact of what other top model would leave the show and create something like this, showing that she has the brains, she has the whole package, that she can continue to market herself in that sense. And like her pictures are flawless. Like, come on. To me, I might throw a little controversy, but she's like the upgraded Lisa because you get a little of both sides, like the down to earth, the crazy, the fun,
I know. She's amazing, and I'm so happy she's joining us on AfterBuzz. And we are definitely going to have a live show before the season is out, hopefully more than one live show with Britney. And it's going to be amazing. So stay tuned for that. And we love her here. I think biggest mistake of all stars is letting Britney go so early. But thank God we can see her here and on Topped Off. And we have some news and gossip, Jesse, that I think we have to get into because there's some inside scoop on next season of Top Model.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
so you got a little news and gossip music, or should I just launch it?
AfterBuzz TV News.
Oh, there we go. Well, Top Model's next season will reportedly be United States versus the UK. While, of course, All Stars is still airing, the show's 18th cycle has already started taping with the new judge in the house, Kelly Catrone, And the newest cast debuted at a public runway show in LA on Monday night, proving that Tyra had spoken the truth with her proclamation that there would be no more normal cycles of the show. I don't really know when it was ever normal, but that's okay. According to the giddy fans who were at the event live, there were 7 American girls and 7 British girls competing. Now, Brit himself, Nigel Barker, rolled up in a Mini Cooper convertible that was painted as a Union Jack. Miss J pulled up in a red and gold Ford Mustang, so Miss J. And then came the float with Big Ben carrying 7 British models, followed by the float with the Statue of Liberty, the American models, and a bunch of shirtless guys with American flags and white flags that said America's Next Top Model. After the reveal, the girls were announced by name, height, and the city they come from, much like a boxing match. Each girl was encouraged to taunt the other team with antagonizing statements, and they then faced off in a runway fight, making turns and passes down the runway and fighting for the spotlight at the end. Now, a source said that British girls were much more impressive than their American counterparts. Hey, come on now, America, what's going on? This will no doubt be quite a cultural exchange, if anything, Jesse. And I'm hoping for a royal wedding shoot. I don't know about you. What do you think about these Brits showing up our American girls?
It doesn't surprise me. I'm excited to watch this. I think this is amazing. I wish. Now, it's just, these are going to be all new girls, right?
Yeah.
So it's not going to be all-stars. I would have loved for, like, All-Star America to go against All-Star UK versions. I think that would be really cool. The thing is, to me, I feel like America's kind of got it on the personality side, but it's when I think, like, fierce runway, I kind of do go more towards European. I don't know why that is, but I can kind of see that happening. But you never know, and this was just the first time it was live, and you know what I mean? So who knows? What it all comes down to the photo shoots. It comes out to creativity with your body. So maybe these girls had fiercer faces, but who knows what somebody can pull off in a, in a photo shoot.
Well, I, for one, being an American girl trying to make it in that industry, know exactly how it feels for the Europeans to invade the turf. And I am, of course, rooting for our fellow Americans.
Hell yeah!
But it's definitely gonna be a throwdown. It sounds like, so that's exciting.
I'm very excited.
Now, Tyra Banks, Jesse, was also throwing down on Twitter, saying that she doesn't think Isis King should have been sent home. Well, you have to make what you think of this. Tyra it was said that Tyra was trumped by her fellow judges on the panel. Isis King, of course, went home last week to the chagrin of her fan base, of course, and herself, especially after the compliments that Nigel gave her during the photo shoot. Now, we don't know what was up with the judge's decision, but apparently neither does Tyra, because a fan tweeted the hostess with the mostest, "No more group saving, please. That was major BS. It wasn't Isis' time to go, and you know it, girl." Now, surprisingly, Tai replied, "You are so right," and lots of exclamation points. So what gives? I don't know. Maybe she doesn't have as much say as we think.
I don't know. That's a really questionable. Maybe she did think it was time for her to go, and maybe she doesn't want to get attacked by the gay and lesbian community, and that's why she said "you were so right," to kind of keep us in mystery, like, well, wait, what's going on? I mean, if Nigel was giving her compliments and Tyra didn't want her to go home, wouldn't that be 2 against 2? And doesn't Tyra have the final say when it comes down to it? That's what I was under the impression.
Well, I'm definitely curious about this, and good thing, Jesse, I have direct connections with some of the producers on the show who I'm actually trying to bring on AfterBuzz. So this is definitely a good question that we'll have to keep in mind should we have our producers live on the show. I'm definitely curious to know how the judging weighs in, as far as she's also a producer on the show, so I'd be very surprised if she didn't have a big say.
Right. I kind of think she was trying to save face right there.
Yeah, some saving face. I agree with you, Jesse. Well, that's all for your news and gossip this week, guys. Now, let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Well, isn't it fitting that Kim Kardashian be a guest judge or a celebrity guest on next week's show? Because we're going to be covering her royal wedding right here on AfterBuzz TV on Monday night live with special guest Maria Menounos, Jesse, which is very exciting. But Kim Kardashian will be a guest as well as LaToya Jackson, and it also seems like Bianca and Lisa get into it. What are you looking for next week, Jesse?
I'm excited. You know, Kim. I'm really kind of excited for this. Is it a photo shoot that they're doing on the carousel, or is it I know they're doing like a runway on it, by getting off the carousel. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have to do a photo shoot quickly on the carousel and then get off and do the runway, which is kind of funny because it's like Britney was saying, they put them in this ridiculous, like, over the top, like, situations. I think it's fun. It's kind of glamorous in a different type of way. And I just love me some LaToya Jackson. So I don't know. As far as who I think Bianca's time is really ticking.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I actually think that you can kind of see when girls are getting more time on the show that they might be in trouble. And I have to say that Bianca and Lisa both being shown in next week's episode, at least for the previews, I have a feeling that it might be one of those two. And I think Bianca's time is ticking. I agree with you, Jesse. So I will say about the carousel that Louis Vuitton just, I believe, did a carousel show where Kate Moss made a runway return. So maybe they were right on par with things by having a carousel. But I can't wait to see it all play out. And I'm also thinking Bianca and Lisa are in trouble next week. So I'm with you, Jesse.
Well, I'm hoping it's not going to be Lisa because I feel like Lisa could have fun with the carousel. But who was the girl that fell? They showed a girl falling, right? I'm not even sure who that was. I can't remember because I should have remembered. I should have wrote it down. But I was like, ooh. But
I know. It's going to definitely be interesting, I'll say that much. So I can't wait to be back here next week talking about it with everyone. And Jesse, do you want to mention the upcoming special event this Sunday before we head out?
Absolutely. This Sunday, are you wondering where you should be? Well, it should be Universal Studios City Walk here in LA. If you're around the LA area, this Sunday, October 9th, we're going to be doing a live AfterBuzz show from the John Lovitz Comedy Club. I'm so excited. We'll finally be able to have studio audience. Get your tickets fast. It's thejohnlovitzcomedyclub.com. We'll be having guests from Breaking Bad, crew members. Maria Menounos will be hosting. This is epic, and, if this goes well, there'll be many, many more of our after shows, and hopefully, if it goes well enough, we can have America's Next Top Model after show there.
Exactly. Well, get your tickets, guys, and big thanks to Brittany Brower for joining us once again, the all-star herself, and big thanks to DJ Jesse Janedy in the house, hosting with me tonight. We'll have Mari Fagel back, and hopefully Nicolette next week, and hopefully more Brittany Brower, and, of course, more top model contestants live on AfterBuzz TV. We'll see you guys next week.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.